Your boys Chap, Vivid, just the squad is so good, so experienced, making their way on through. This is Lucky as well. But like we said, Game 5, NA East. Let's go, Shy.
Yep, the line is drawn at the moment as well. East has the reputation of having those absolutely pop-off games.
Off the bat, it was uncontested, but that is not the case. Stuck here in a little 2v1 situation, building up in the sky, trying to find a tag there. Kaz is eliminated. But watch this Crouch's Booga doing the full tilt. Stretch getting tagged from the side.
Well,
we thought this was actually kind of an easy drop. They're fully contested here. It's a 2v2 now.
Throwing these things to let these guys know, hey, I want to fight this fight, get out of your hidey hole. But that might not be the case. Booga, though, a nice free shot coming in, very good protection and timing on that tac shotgun. The ammo is low, though. No SMG available. He has to full commit. That might be a problem with a boogie bomb in the fray. Going and singling out Stretch. Isolation is something Monster loves to say, something that Booga can do right back at the Polarized as well. Hey, sometimes it's a good play, sometimes it's bad. Very accurate to the name, Polarized.
Quick pick up with a siphon there. Booga, that 50 might be the big determinant whether or not he can make his way out of here. Now in a 1v1 situation on the low ground, but a plethora of shotguns as Inspire is choosing to rotate away, and Booga needs to determine whether now's the time to push. Right here, though, back over. Not too far away from Shifty Shafts. Between Shifty and Gotham, we have Fuzzy, Panda, Stowe in a build fight to stay in this game, staying as high as they can. Fuzzy layering and swapping the edits. A shot, a solid angle from behind, and the drop in on H-Tag picks that knockdown, picks the elimination. A little bit of a siphon there. You listen for those shockwaves. You want to watch out for players trying to take that ultimate high ground. I believe that was Stowe, though, a teammate, so no flick there. Fuzzy pushing in, Stowe from underneath, and Panda with the long-distance third party here, going to make his move in as well.
Yep, there's so much expectation on this fight. Mercy now going down. It's a 1v3. These guys did so well yesterday in being good at the heats, being on top of the actual region, but now all of that comes barreling in terms of trying to be well in the finals, place high, not almost all the way up there, but they have a chance. Back to Booga now. Lupo break it down, another mid-game fight.
Literally back engaged with Inspire again. These two going back-to-back in these battles. 1v1 down here in Moisty Palms. 121, a big hit there on both players. 32 HP left for Booga. Both players need to take a moment here and heal up. You see the minis on the silhouette from Inspire being popped. Puts down the campfire. Inspire now is in a much better spot, and he has a chance if he wants to. He can waterfall down, drop, and disconnect this from anything and drop Booga down if that's what he chooses to go for. He does have the high ground, though, so if he doesn't want to push out, he doesn't have to. Booga rotating across, looking for an angle from underneath and trying to hit this shot. If he plays too aggressive, he's going to pay the price, and if he leaves a side exposed, he can get third-partied by any of the teams that are still around. West and North might still be contested, but Inspire staying up top.
Mushrooms being gathered by Booga at the same time as well. This just looks like a boxing match. It looks like something that's been going on for so many rounds. Inspire being a little bit cheeky, trying to change his player box model when he's walking all the way down, maybe over peeking, but not peeking his head over. Very smart, actually utilizing the mechanics of the zone. Booga getting eliminated out. Inspire with a little bit of a conga. The conga king, it seems like, in these games over and over again. Shoutouts to him for actually being alive with his, or being the one to stay alive most of the time out of his trio, and then taking out such fierce competition over and over again, game to game. Fiber, Tifu, and Kanata.
Mega Eclipse both down a 3v1 at this point, finding contact here. It's actually Nick, another trio, bunched up in the same builds. We've seen this time and time again. Multiple teams will push in on rotation, especially if it's a full trio versus a team that is weakened, and see if they can pick up that third-party opportunity. But back up a little bit. Here we have the bubble shield inside, providing multiple layers, so that opponent inside, because the shield is there, they've got to make it all the way into the box. Even like a wall replace isn't necessarily going to guarantee a line of sight. So Canada can sit in here with Fiber. Both of them stand up, and there's a chance that they don't have to worry about a push.
Yep, multiple layers in multiple dimensions. Absolutely correct, because not only do they block the builds, they do block being able to see inside and even block the kind of mental to push a shield bubble, because that requires a lot, especially if you don't own the builds. Now, back up. Fiber's going to see what he can do in terms of gaining all the builds as well. You'll see the entire server on the bottom right. Look at where the main crosshairs are looking. The developments of builds around them. This is also a big portion of where two biome realms hit each other, this is where people want to rotate. We saw the zone coming out of Moisty. We saw a lot of people who were purple arrows on the actual minimap leaving Moisty as well. This is where they're all meeting up. Looks like we have 3 trios still living here, but only around 5 people in this actual fight.
Yeah, 2v1 situation with multiple traps on the ground. I was wondering how long before some of them seem to get broken. So if you have...
It should all be on the table, and everyone should be on their last breath. Right now, though, full lung capacity. Vivid has a heavy sniper looking at any opportunity to land a big shot.
Oops.
Nobu BFO L2 gets knocked down, eliminated out of the game. Lupo.
Very confident, maybe almost to a fault at certain times, depending on how you look at it. But honestly, it's warranted, depending on the timing. Here we go, a shot. Kaz finished out there. Not his elimination, but the player is still out, which is still important. Play for late game placement a little more every time a player goes down. 22 trios, by the way. We're not worried about Storm Surge right now with 57 total players. 114 builds. Loadout still solid for the position he's in, and chooses to apply some pressure and finds the head of Fuzzy through the wall. All team, the comms there instantly saying, I got a knock, I got a knock, I got a knock, and just immediately beaming the box down. Stowe left alive in there as Crim, Spades, and Clicks are boxed up 2 or 3 squares away.
Yeah, look at the difference in how different trios respond to the pressure that Calc is making. You touched on the comms. This is why this trio splits apart and looks at so many other things. It causes trios like Stowe's to get distracted on the low ground. You see a more experienced one that plays for a long time together as well. With practice, Clicks not shaking at all, no edits looked at upon at all whatsoever. They're looking up vertically, waiting for that bait essentially to happen, right? Stowe gets picked off, then as you said, Lupo, everyone instantly switches over to using GLs, all the utility on everyone as well. Zore goes down too, not sure if that's a full Elam. OCE is gone out from game 5, one more opportunity to get up on the points. Calc now still alive, metal box. Is kind of privy to a double heavy snipe at the moment. The moment I say it.
That's the second time in the last 60 seconds you've literally called snipes and they've happened on the spot.
Zex, Calc, Mac, look at Calc's HP immediately. They were prepping for this. They were taking those aggressive angles just so they could re-go again.
That was actually the timing right there in the shield bubble to save those rockets. They don't want to make that structure go down. Inadvertently also helping Mac with Zex on calculator. You also have the third power trio down on the bottom. Clicks, Spades, and Crew just chilling down underneath. At this point, this is one of the highest pressure stacks of builds I think we've seen the entire tourney thus far. And look at the zone, the 50-50. You still have a handful of trios on the outside, but the west side of that safe zone, man, that is a scary place to be.
Yep, full metal tower, full positioning advantage as well, and all the options available to 2 of the top trios on the leaderboard right now with the same win condition for points. Macwood actually aggressing on that first, still privy to heavy snipes or retaliation, but they've got a knock. They have the perfect angle to just keep raining down shots. No rockets left though, so they're gonna have to respond. There's a retaliation, quick build to come through. Cal coming up from the side. This trio is playing positioning in a box perfectly, and they're still pressuring people in a revive.
Macwood and Crew taking shots at the team all the way in the back. Imagine if he still had GL shots left over. That would have been an easy 3-piece cleanup. Couldn't quite find it, ran out of rounds, and they tried to spray it down, but couldn't do it. At this point, holding on to the 92 ammo in Macwood's inventory, plus whatever the others have, probably a better call as we go into later game, because like we've seen time and time again, you have a high ground position, gives you an advantage when it comes to taking shots. But if you get a knock or an elimination, there's probably a low chance you're actually going to be able to capitalize on whatever comes out in terms of material. So you don't want to burn through all of that too fast.
Yep, capitalization is the name of the game right now as well. I think this is the first time NA Eastwives, you've seen so many trios not losing members other than Stowe and actually making it to the later portions of the game.
How you gonna call Stowe out like that, dog? Come on.
They had a little bit of a bait and switch there. They kind of fell for the trap. They still have a chance to keep going.
True.
But right now, this is the main trio to focus on. A little bit of a late rotate. They actually, perfect, I was gonna mention this, the more pressure you put down on the map, things like this, people will not be afraid to use launch pads. They won't second guess it because they know they've been hit so much, right? That could have been Stowe's.
Both full trios on your screen right there. Clicks, Crims, and Spades also making the rotation into the zone. All 3 players in this box as they tunnel on through. Part of this isn't owned. You see them going for little replaces and pushes through. They don't want to get caught inside someone else's box, caught off guard. You can see it drop down from above very quickly. The spray to the top left there. Seeing players box up. Look at the hold, trying to stay inside the zone. And that storm pressure combined with all of the fire from this trio is going to make it very tough for some people to stay alive.
Yep, if you want to see high pressure, mid-ground, build-to-build box fights, this is what these guys practice every single day. All 3 alive, sectioning each other out to be at the perfect times to shoot and move and loot all together perfectly while they move across the zone.
Chab down there in the bottom gets knocked on the fly-in. Meanwhile, Falter, Snake, Frat all the way up on the top. Here's Symphony's trio. He, Reverse, and Slacks doing very well, coming off a victory. Germ with 2 in the feed, including himself to the Storm, Cadet, Spyrock, Aircool, and Sizlucky picking up a knock on Young Calculator.
Yeah, even on the bottom right now, they're going up a mountain, but they're going to have to drop down to get back to the 7th zone. There's 27 people left alive currently in this 7th circle, which means Storm Surge is not an option to worry about whatsoever. It's all about your brain and your build. Symphony putting a ramp down instead of a pyramid up top. Very smart, gets people comfortable to build above you as well, giving you even more room and keeps you a little bit more safe in your box. We tune over to Zayt now, who was on height, seems to be in the middle ground for the moment.
Zayt, Sypha, Saf holding it down for just a second. A calm before the next rotational storm. 12 trios remaining as the teams continue to get cut down on a rotation on the outside. Daxor pays the price. Zayt trying to see if there's anybody else out there. There's not quite yet. So the storm is going to continue to move into the next zone. We have 40 seconds in Falter in the ultimate high ground, sitting on top of a campfire. TK, Schneider, Macwood all rotating around underneath. Nefrux all the way in the ultimate low ground. You have so many full trios still in this with 16 total players.
Yup, and mountains all around them. Seems like this 8th zone is still going straight up on the mountain. Falter's going to be at advantage while moving through. He had so much time off that campfire and Big Pot as well to see exactly how the server was developing underneath him. Now Symphony, though, in these developments is going to be getting big tags, still has a slurp as well as a shield bubble to use as he moves up. He has that tactical shotgun, which means repeat games and repeat shots, getting shot down all the way on this low ground layer horizontally. He's going to have to move up now, though, with his team. Hopefully they all survive. Slacks is already down.
This is very smart. Symphony holding it down in the middle of the storm. At certain points in there, you saw him. He wasn't applying pressure. He wasn't rotating. He was waiting and looking for edits at this point. Spades knocked right there. A little bit of damage. Gets knocked to the storm. A big pickup for Symphony here in a second. So that's going to come on through. Schneider knocked, eliminated. We're looking at 100 HP Siphon waiting to happen. Where's the follow-up 50? Another one. 155 still ticking up here. Solid positioning. Going to drop down to the ultimate low ground. Symphony and crew in a 1v. Oh, and you hate to see it the very last second. Trying to hold it down in a 1v3 against Zypha, Zayt, and Saf.
Taking a look together, we've got Zexro, Calculator, and Macwood still hold that #1 spot with 61 points. Zypha, Zayt, and Saf, that awesome performance we just saw, has bumped them up to 2nd place. They're within striking range right now, Sundown, and we only have 1 game left.
One more game left, and you can kind of see right here, the top 4 teams are all very much so in contention. So Clicks, Crims, Spades, Sizlucky, Chap, Vivid, Zypha, Zayt, and Saf, who we just saw close out that last game with a 21-point performance to rocket them in. But Zexro, Calc, and Macwood, they said, hey, why didn't anybody predict us? Where are we in terms of the favorites? They showed up, and they have been grinding it out. 31 eliminations. I mean, they're 5 clear of the next closest team, who Shy expected those guys to be very aggressive. We know Zexro can be, and it's playing out incredibly well. With that being said, the spread all the way down right now is 25 points, and all of these guys are capable of dropping a 10 elimination victory royale. So realistically, we could see somebody come up with a huge game. I mean, yeah, let's check the second page real quick and see who else is also there, because just on the outside, Graska, AJ, and Daxor, they're on that line as well. There tends to be a drop-off, so I'd say anybody who's around 15th and out right now doesn't necessarily have the ability, outside of something monumentous, to take the first place spot. But everyone there up has the ability to grind out a number of eliminations and get yourself into the late game, and if you can clutch up, you could be the first ever Season X champions coming out of NA East. I mean, it's so down to the wire. After Europe, this is just going to be a treat.